In every society, it is natural for some members of the society to want to be seen to be superior to others. Titles and designations are some of the instruments that have been used to emphasize the differences between one man and another and categories of people. In this video, we are going to discuss the topic professors and academic doctors. I'm inviting you on the journey to clearing your misconception, because I know so many people do not know their right from left with regards to the academic designations and titles. Welcome to Putting It Straight. This is a channel that's dedicated to demystifying misconceptions and to strip naked false perceptions, wrong notions, and then give you the right knowledge. So let's dive in. Who is a professor, or what is a professor? I dare say that this is a slippery term, depending on the society, the community where you are watching me. Because if it is in North America, that is the United States and Canada, it is a term, a generic term that designates, or rather, that identifies all academic personnel in teaching learning institutions, particularly of the higher form. However, if you go to Europe and parts of the world where the educational system mimics that of Britain, a professor strictly applies to that academic worker, a teacher, or an associated institution that is of the highest working rank. So here we are going to make clear certain things that confuse people. Some people are unclear about how some, known as doctor, that is academic doctor, how they are different from someone whose title is professor. Doctors denote someone or some people who have studied for and have been awarded a PhD degree. So it denotes an academic qualification. A doctor, a PhD, denotes an academic qualification. And the holder of a PhD happens all over the world to be the highest university degree holder. So most professors are generally PhD holders, just as other academics employed in academic institutions or universities, as we like to call them here, but in America are often referred to as the college. Note that a professor is not an academic qualification. I repeat, it's not an academic qualification. You may have been thinking, particularly by the way they hold themselves and others carry them, you think professor is a title, is an academic qualification you've got to work for, to study for. No, but only an academic grade, one promoted to the highest university job scale. Does it clarify your assumptions, your notions? Okay. Now, from everywhere, you find professors carry themselves so highly, some arrogant, so much so that you think they are not ordinary people. Sometimes it is people who carry them, who promote them to that level. They may be meek, they may be humble, but others make them come across as if they are much more than that. How do you explain misconception? Here we are going to get that clarified. The first reason why some of these academics carry themselves that way is ignorance. The second reason is that how the professors themselves carry themselves. The first reason is ignorance on the part of people who project them as if professorship is an academic qualification. And the second is the way that some professors themselves carry themselves, their person. But let's answer the question. The fairest way to answer the question is to summarize both the similarities and differences between an academic doctor and a professor. That way, that contrast becomes very clear and drives home the meaning. One is that both the PhD or academic doctor, as some call them, and the professors, both of them must necessarily earn a PhD, because that's where, from there is where you either become a professor or stay with your academic doctor and get involved in whatever business you are interested in. That the professor is not an academic qualification, but it is the highest job level scale in the university, whereas PhD is the highest academic qualification anybody can have in the whole wide world. Point number 2, PhD is the highest degree anybody can register and study for in any university on planet Earth. Does it sink? The point number 3 is that a professor doesn't become a professor because he attained any higher degree than the academic doctor. What really happens is that when individuals graduate as academic doctors or PhDs, you may choose to work in an academic institution, usually schools and other scientific institutions associated with teaching. Or you may choose to go elsewhere. But if you stay in the university to work, you grow along the rank. And having fulfilled the necessary qualifications for promotion, that's when you are promoted step by step until you become the professor, which is the ceiling. So while the academic doctor may proceed elsewhere and goes to work. There's another point we are going to make as we come. So instead of a professor, or rather we say instead a professor is a doctor who has obtained his PhD and decides to stay in the university to work and grow, instead of working elsewhere until, as I have said, he's promoted to that rank. Of course, there are intermediary grades before one actually attains the professorship. Point number 5 is that if an academic doctor proceeds to go to work, say, in the bank or any other industry, you see, he's likely to grow there relative to their job description, their promotional arrangement, and all that. Suppose he goes to become the MD of a bank, and a professor, a fellow doctor who worked in the university, stays on, grows, and is promoted to become a professor. Would you say that the professor is superior to the doctor who is working elsewhere, who has gained up experiences and become the director or the manager of his? That is what many people get confused or do not know about, and you need to know. So the professor cannot, by any stretch of any imagination, be thought of as being superior to the doctor. So for both of them, it's simply a matter of choice of where you work. You choose to work here, the other wishes to work there, and they climb. So those of us in the academic who have become doctors, we had better know that there is no need of promoting, pushing oneself higher than they ought to. And there's no need running down others, because if he's working elsewhere and you're working elsewhere, you cannot say you're superior to the other, because academically you are equal. You are equal. Therefore, a professor in his right senses cannot be claimed to be superior or deserves more social recognition or status and honor more than the doctor. What's your reaction to this? If this clarification has been worth your time, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it to friends for the advancement of worldwide education. And do not forget, we are here to help you be yourself, identify the truth from fiction, myths from lies, and to separate the chaff from the real substance. Feel free to suggest any topic you would want us to treat on this platform. Until we come again, keep questioning, make sure of what is good, and hold that fine.